This is Fantasy Baseball Today from CBSSports.com.
And this is an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today here for CBS Local Sports. What's up, everyone? We're getting you ready for Fantasy Week 5 with some start or sit advice. I'm Adam Azer. That's Scott White. He's going to be pinch hitting for Al Melchior with the pitchers, and he's going to tell you which hitters to start. So let's begin with the hitters that you're starting. You're starting Justin Morneau. We'll begin with him.
Yeah, let's begin with him. I like the Rockies matchup this week. They're one of just 4 teams playing 7 games, and 4 of those games are at Coors Field, which is always great. Morneau has been on fire recently, and really the only knock on him is that in the beginning the Rockies were sitting him against some left-handed pitchers. But the guy they were sitting him for, Michael Kadire, he's on the DL, out of the picture. Morneau started against the last lefty they faced. I don't see why you need to take him out of your lineup this week.
Same with Billy Hamilton for Cincinnati.
Billy Hamilton is also playing 7 games. And that, I think, in a week where only 4 teams are playing 7 games, 6 are playing 5, so the games, there's a shortage on games this week. And Hamilton, we've seen already, when he gets these games where even when he doesn't hit well, he just gets on base a couple times, he gets a couple steals, a couple runs scored, and the points really add up. So I think just because he has 7 opportunities to do that this week, I mean, the chance of him doing that just 2 or 3 times, it seems worth taking the chance, even though he's had some batting average issues early on.
How about some starting pitchers that we want to roll with this week? We like Jason Vargas when he's in a pitcher's park. He'll be in a pitcher's park, his own home park, twice this week.
Yeah, and that's you basically summed it up perfectly there. You look at his history in places that are considered pitcher's parks. Basically what he's done already this season, goes deep into the games, gives up only a run or 2, is great. And he's at home for his 2 starts this week. The Royals certainly play in a pitcher's park.
Yep.
I think you got to stick with them.
Toronto and Detroit are the matchups. Now, this next one's a little bit riskier maybe. Alfredo Simon, despite how well he's been pitching, doesn't have the pedigree. And he's got the Cubs at home, which is great, and then he has Milwaukee at home, which is not as great. But you're saying start Simon.
I am, and there is a slight addendum in that he's relief pitcher eligible in the leagues where that matters. So mostly the head-to-head points formats, when you can get him in for 2 starts over a closer, that's going to be a good thing for you. But he has pitched well here to begin the season. Does seem like he made a change last year, adding a cutter to his repertoire that's really caused him to become a different pitcher, a more effective one. And I think just because one of his 2 starts are against the Cubs, that's one of the best matchups in baseball right now. Anytime, with any person I'd consider in a 2-start week, as long as one of the matchups are good, I'm willing to go with them and take my chances on that second matchup.
And let's see if we can get Scott to say repertoire one more time, because that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
These next hitters and pitchers will stink this week. Sit them. Brandon Moss, sit him.
Yes. Not only do the Athletics have difficult matchups going against Yu Darvish, Martin Perez, John Lester, John Lackey. That's just 4 of the 6 pitchers they're facing. But 3 of them are left-handers. Brandon Moss sits against lefters
Can't turn
a
left
lot of the time. Yeah, so not going to do great against the righties and sitting half the week. Probably should sit him.
And Christian Yelich, another lefty-righty home road thing. You'll explain that, but sit Christian Yelich.
Yeah, he doesn't sit against the lefties, but just look at his splits last year, his first year in the big leagues. They were extreme, both in terms of how he performed against righties versus lefties, and home and away. Marlins obviously played a pitcher's park. They're at home all this week. They're facing 3 left-handed pitchers, and their matchups are against the Braves and Dodgers rotations, who have both been very good to begin the season. So probably should sit him.
Now, if you're looking at 2-star pitchers on your waiver wire and you see Jonathan NIESE and you see Wade Miley, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
All right, Scott's going to tell you why.
Not feeling it with those guys this week.
Jonathan NIESE is at Philadelphia, at Colorado.
And he's been great to begin the year, but at Philadelphia, at Colorado, those are 2 extreme hitters' parks. Colorado especially. I mean, we saw what happened just this past week, that game between Matt Cain and Tyler Chatwood, 9 home runs. You never know when that's going to happen there, and particularly since you can't count on NIESE to have a good start in the second one either, I just don't want to gamble on that.
What about Wade Miley? He's got Colorado at home and at San Diego.
Yeah, Colorado at home, meaning in Arizona, isn't as big a deal as being at Colorado, obviously. But the thing about Miley is I just don't trust him. He's been so up and down here to begin the year. A lot of just 5-inning outings, and it's completely conceivable to me that he does that twice this week and gives you maybe, maybe a dozen points, and that's it. I think you have better one-start options that you'd be benching for him, and it's not good enough to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Scott writes the hitter column to tell you who to start and sit. Al writes the pitcher column. You can check that out, fantasynews.cbssports.com. Watch our show live noon Eastern every Monday through Friday. We will help you out. We take your phone calls. It's great. We have a lot of fun. This has been an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. Thanks for watching, and good luck in Week 5.